And first off, you need to focus on your eye contact. Because, for example, when you're talking to people in person, they're more likely to listen to what you have to say when you're giving them eye contact. And when you give people eye contact, you're actually looking at them to see if they're paying attention. So when you're presenting yourself online, it's so that you're doing this for yourself. You're trying to create more opportunities of how to really meet people. And if you want to present yourself better online, you need to make sure that you have strong eye contact in your picture. And you're always needing to look in the center, because when you look in the center, you have to make sure that your body and your position is in the center. So this is why you need to have good body language. You need to make sure that you're wearing clothes that are comfortable, clothes that is really your own style. And whenever you're looking away and you're not like giving people eye contact, you realize they're going to perceive you in a certain way, where you're not confident in what you're saying, but also your tone of voice is very important. People are looking at your appearance first, but then afterwards is your tone of voice. And that's really my next point, because when it comes to your tone of voice, you want it to be calm, you want it to be slow so that people can actually hear what you're saying. Because what I've noticed when I talk really fast is because I seem nervous, I don't seem relaxed. And sometimes all it really takes is for you to have a good body language and to be relaxed, even in your pictures, even in person. Because when you're relaxed and you have a good body language, you realize that even though you're nervous, you're not really showing people that. You want it to be that the way that you carry yourself in person and online, that you've done it like a million times. You don't want to give off nervous body language as if you've never done it before. So even if you haven't presented yourself online, the first thing that you need to realize is what pictures are you taking of yourself? And you have to actually look at the way that you carry yourself. Because if you don't know how you carry yourself, you don't know how you come across to other people. And that's really the first thing, because you're going to meet so many different people, and you have to realize that the way that you carry yourself whenever you're meeting people, sometimes you have to introduce yourself, or sometimes you just wait and then speak later. When you're choosing a place to take pictures for your online presence, you have to make sure that the environment is clean, there's no other person in the background, because you don't want people to think that someone else is you. And for example, you know when you have group pictures, you only do that when you want people to think that you have a social life besides yourself. You need your online presence to be more about you rather than the people that you're with. You're up to date with like your haircuts. And this may be a thing that is very straightforward, but you need to have clear skin. And when you have clear skin, you're showing to other people that you take care of yourself. And you have to have a reason for why you want to take care of yourself. Because you have to be so tired of not taking care of yourself to then take care of yourself. Because you have to realize by having bad habits, you start to not even look at yourself in a good way. And then because you're not looking at yourself in a good way, it starts to reflect in terms of the people that you're meeting. So what I've realized as well, that when you start to put yourself out there more, you realize that you're going to attract people that have similar interests to you. And that's why when it comes to your online presence, whether you show it in your pictures or you talk about it, you need to have interests that really show who you really are as a person. So for the most part, everyone really likes fitness. And if you like fitness, people will start to talk about the gym, people will start to show their physiques online. So the more that you compare yourself to other people, you're focused on what other people are doing, but then you're not working on yourself to really improve. And when it comes to self-improvement, it's because you're choosing to improve yourself. And you do this every single day, every single month, every single year. It's something that's very gradual. But when it comes to online presence, you have to not forget about trends. The reason why I say trends very lightly is because not every trend is for every single person. So for example, let's say in the summer that people are like shirtless, or sometimes people may want to wear like a jacket, and because everyone else is wearing a jacket, you think about getting that jacket as well. You realize that because a jacket is oversized, and then you try it on, but then it could be the color of the jacket, it could be that the material is not comfortable to wear, but it shows in your picture that you're not really as confident. So what I would say is to wear clothes that are comfortable for you, and to wear clothes that really show off your physique. When it comes to your online presence, you have to make sure that when you make a mistake, which you will make, is to not repeat it. So I've made mistakes as well where I don't speak up in my videos. Sometimes I don't take care of myself and it shows in a video. And you have to realize as well that as long as you're improving every single time, then those mistakes, you make up for it. And you have to realize the more consistent that you are, you're going to see changes in yourself. And the best thing about being consistent, you start to see how you're going to act like over time. Because sometimes you have to realize the way that you look now, you can start to grow into your looks. The reason why I say you can grow into your looks is because, for example, as a guy, I may not have facial hair, as you know. So that's why some people, they may rock the goatee, they may rock like a full beard. But the reason why I'm saying this is because not everyone is going to look the same. And no matter if you try and compare yourself to other people, or no matter if you try and copy someone's look completely, you have to realize that someone looks this way and you look completely different. So that's why it's good to be inspired by people, but not copy them. So when it comes to your outfits, you need to make sure that it's for the right occasion. So for example, I'll be going to the gym after this video. So what I'm wearing is like a half zip. Yeah, I'm wearing like a half zip. So that's why you see in my videos, the clothes that I'm wearing is mostly half zip. Because on those days, I would be going to the gym. And even on my rest days, it's good to wear like clothes which are very active so that you're not lying around. What I'm going to say when it comes to online presence, it is just videos and photos. But then the more that you do it, you become better at it over time. I'll let you be the judge to see if I have good online presentation myself. Because I wouldn't want it to be that I'm giving you advice, but then you're at least judging my photos and it's not what you expect. So what I'm going to do, just to prove that I know what I'm talking about, I'll put photos and possibly a video of how I present myself online. So another thing when it comes to your photos and your online presence is to try and be like straight to the point. And when I mean straight to the point, it's by realizing you need to know why you're doing the video and why you're doing the photo. You want it to be that people understand what you're trying to do. You know, when I go to the gym, I'm trying to show people the workouts that I do. I try and show people the outfits that I'm wearing. And that's really the focus of why I would do that. So what I'm going to say about people that have no online presence is realizing that because you don't post anything and you don't really take photos as much, you realize that the moment will be gone. It's really hard for you to capture that same moment all over again. And this is like early in the morning, so, you know, I could look a lot better later on in the day, but that's besides the point. Making sure that my microphone's all good. Let me make this clear. The message that I forgot to say earlier in the video. So, you know, when it comes to online, there's certain angles that you may take. There may be certain camera angles, and lighting is very important as well. Yeah, so what I should have done ages ago, which I've just done now, is clip the microphone on myself. But yeah, let me just continue. When it comes to online presence, you have to focus on the audio, the sound quality, you have to focus on lighting, and by having clear skin, it really adds to the picture. And the other thing that I'm going to say before I go is focusing on the connections that you really meet. But it's because I'm on my way to the gym now, so I just thought, why not just kill two birds with one stone and just focus on what I wanted to say and to just get my point across. You know, the connections that you make online, it might even be more than the connections that you make in real life. You have to realize people have more time online than they do in person to really talk. But you don't want it to be that all you do is just talk online. You have to start talking to people in person wherever you can. So the skills that you learn online, you have to make sure that you do it in person. And the skills which you don't focus on in person, you have to make sure that you focus it and try and showcase who you really are online. Because it's going back to my point earlier, people that don't have online presence, it's really hard for them to put themselves online. And it's really hard for people to know who they are online. So that's what I'm going to say, because the reason why you may lack social skills in person is because you're always online. But then when it comes to people that have no online presence, it's really hard to show who they are online. So that's what I've got to say, because when it comes to making connections online, it's through group chats, it's through normal chatting to people. You DM people one-on-one to actually have a conversation. Do everything you can to be careful and do everything you can to be personable as well. Because you want to make sure that you actually connect with people. You're not just talking to anyone and everyone. So that's all I got to say. You can like, comment and subscribe. And that's all I got to say, and I'll see you in another video.